How do? So I've started doing these live streams, and I want to do a few different things. One will be app updates, where I start updating the app live. Another thing I'd really like to do is when we build more of a community, have teachers come on, watch me use the app, and they can put in requests as I'm using it, which will do two things. It will help people learn how to use the app more efficiently, and it will also give teachers free resources to use. So today we're going to start with, I've just added in 3 new fonts from the great guys at educationalfontware.com. These are 3 new handwriting fonts. One of them that I've used for many years, which is DN Manuscript. Hold on. Do we have sound? Yes, we do. Yeah, so let's pop over to the app and I'll show you what we're going to do. Just give it a little swoop. So here inside the app, we've got our 3 fonts. We've got DN Manuscript, HWT Manuscript, and OZ Manuscript. Now, we've been given these for free by educationalfontware.com, but we need to credit him for doing this. It's very generous of him. They could charge us anything we wanted, or we would have to make our own script. Now, I've used these fonts for years. I know they work, and I would be happy to pay or give attribution to the company for letting us use them. So what I want to do is every time one of their fonts are selected, underneath the font family, I would like a short paragraph and a link back to their site, because they do lots of other great fonts for education, not only handwriting, but I know they do some sign language fonts and other great fonts you can use in the classroom. So to do this, let's come into the back end, because at the moment this is hard coded in. I do want to work on a more flexible way of adding in fonts in the future, but now the first step will just be to get this attribution hard coded in. So I know we're going to need some CSS in my tool properties panel, which I already have copied here. So I'm going to paste this in, save my tool properties panel. The next thing we need to do is we go to our JavaScript, and I need to add in a short helper function at the top of my component. So I'm going to be doing a lot of searching, a lot of pasting. So, and it will be right after this. So let's add in a helper function. This is going to let the app know that anytime one of these fonts are selected, to display the attribution. Now, let's find where I use my common colors. And right before this, I'm going to tell the app exactly what I want it to display, which is this. And then this needs to happen in 2 places where I have the drop down. So if I search for my font family drop down, which is here, this has got all of our existing fonts. At the bottom, so from here, let's paste it in. It will then show the final font, and then underneath it, if the educational fontware fonts are selected, it will show the attribution. The last thing I want to do is, I noticed a problem what we've got here. We need a space. So let's add a space in the HWT manuscript font. We then need to find the next one. So if we go down to the second one, we will replace all of this with this. And it's doing exactly the same thing. Save that. And now when I come back into the app, we'll need to refresh this. So now if I add some text, so we'll see I'm selecting the standard font and we're not getting anything on this side. That's normal. If I take the drop down and I select DN manuscript, so now you'll see that on the right hand side we have this attribution box and it says educational fontware font, handwriting font provided by Educational Fontware Inc. More variations, rules, dots, arrows, phonics and more. And if you click this link, it will take us to their website. And then you can have a browse of what they have to offer. So it should do this for all of the fonts. So let's just check it. So outlines, HWT manuscript, HWT outlines, OZ manuscript, and OZ outlines. Okay, so that's working as expected. One thing I'm not sure about is I don't love the information icon. We could maybe swap this for a check, like a green check, to make it look like a trusted resource. But I'll revisit that soon. So another thing I'd like to do today, seeing as that took us about 5 minutes, is next to all of our fonts, I would love it to show an example of what the font's going to look like. So let's start with this. So I'm going to be back and forth with an AI that you don't see on this screen, my app, and lots of code windows, which now there are many of. So close that, we don't need this anymore. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find, so I'll probably have to rebuild these full drop downs, which shouldn't be a problem, and it will make it much better in the end. So right underneath our existing Educational Fontware font, I'm going to add our font list. Then I need to bring some logic to make this work correctly. So right underneath my save file name, let's get some logic in there. So I'll replace this section with our required logic, like this. Pop. So neaten that up. I'm then going to need to replace my 3 existing drop downs. So these are quite large. They'll get much smaller. As we've already declared the fonts at the top of this file, they're going to get much smaller. So I'll paste that in. There it is. Much better. That's for when existing text is selected. Now we need to go down and find our second block. And again, we'll replace it like this. And then let's add in our new CSS that we need to the bottom of this file. Save it all. And see if it's worked. So if I open the text tool, I can see that it's done. Absolutely. Okay. There it is. It's worked. So this has worked when we update the font. So when I select it and we try and update it, this is working well. However, when I first create some font, we'll see that it's not working. So let's come back in. So there must be a spot that we've missed. And I know that there is one more section here. So I think we should be able to take this and let's just try to replace it with this and see if we break anything. Let's reload this, open the text. There it is. Lovely. Eventually, I'd like a much more robust font system where users can come in, open up a settings panel and turn on and off fonts that are from Google Fonts and just other fonts that I've added into the app. That way it doesn't clutter things up. And if you only use 5 fonts most of the time, you could just have 5 fonts in here so you're not scrolling down lists. But at the moment, this has got a lot of great fonts that you can use for any kind of worksheets. Let's just test it. So let's bring in the OZ manuscript. enlarge it, and there it is. Let's check it updates correctly. So when I first select it, I can make sure that I can change it to Arial, Helvetica, Times New Roman, Courier, Veranda, our own EDU Groove fonts, that's it. Everything is working correctly. Success. So now the last thing I need to do is close the app. I'll rebuild it. And I'm going to upload this as our weekly update, which will be later on today. So if I build the app, next time you open it, there'll be a new version, and it'll open straight away with the new fonts and the new font drop downs. If for some reason you don't see it straight away, open up an incognito tab and log in through the incognito browser. That should clear its memory and work for you. And then it'll start working in a few days in your regular browser. Give it a little show. Whoop. Okay, good stuff. Success. So we've just added in new fonts. We've got new font drop downs, and we've got attribution for educational. Hold on, let me check this name. Yeah, and we've got attribution for educationalfontware.com. It's the 3 things we needed to do today, and it's been a success. Stay creative and stay groovy.